Found the moon and a star and a few more stars and some clouds. I guess that's welcome to Tuesday. I don't think there was any moon last night, at least not that I could see. I didn't see any stars either. And second night in a row, I slept less last night than the night before. Oh well. Everybody needs what? Well, they say 8 hours or whatever. Yeah, the only time I've ever gotten 8 hours sleep at one time is either when I'm too freaking sick or a really good example would be coming home from shows or coming home from a couple of those multi-day fires where never went to bed. I forgot to turn the lights on. That's okay. I can see what I got to do with what I got on. I mean, 40 hours straight driving tender or fighting fire, when you're done with that, you collapse. A few of you guys know all about that. Anyway, I had planned on having those two pieces up in the hallway by now this morning so that when it got light out we could do something besides that. Obviously I'm not there yet. I mean, I ain't even thinking good enough to turn the lights on to see, but like I said, I can see the feed here. Maybe a little sketch at the other end, but it'll be fine. Getting a little lighter. A little bit of a sunrise. Probably be really beautiful here in about 15-20 minutes, but I won't be where I can see it. A little ground fog over the fields out there. I just got here and I grabbed this piece and came out when she got here. I was gonna oil that freaking bearing on the furnace blower. Annoying. Oh, that's right. She got the toaster this morning. I can see that in the camera. I can't see that otherwise. Rory took her car in the other day and they checked everything, couldn't find nothing wrong. It's, shifting funny or whatever again. So it's going in again today. I'm going to shut this off so I can open the door for her. On this episode of Breakfast with Blakely, what do you think? A good cereal?
Syrup on top on this side.
Blakely, can you say everybody hi? Oh, come on. She even just gave me a big hug on my leg a minute ago.
It's Apple Jacks.
Of course, I had a hold of her brother, who was being a good boy this morning. Huh, buddy?
Hi, Bobo.
Yeah, can you say hi, everybody? Where's your smile?
Where's that smile? Where's that smile?
Ty said he wailed all the way home last night.
He's a little stuffy this morning, so I
Pulled
don't think
over
he'll
twice and give him a little milk. She should have just opened the window and drove faster. All she had to do was turn her light on.
Don't pull the kitty, stay up, please.
Oh well. I can go out and get that other piece. I meant to mention it last night. Flag's there for a reason, So those of you who served, and you know who you are, and those who I know served, I always thank. Thank you for your service, ladies and gentlemen. Mother Nature put the flag up for you this morning. Sorry, but the one on the pole ain't waving, but that one's all stretched out. There, finally got that far. Yeah, I know you can see the light. That's probably going to get a molding piece put on there. And I think that corner cabinet that Ty and I went and picked up is going to go right there, which will block part of it, so it'll just be above that. Otherwise, not too bad considering. Although, if the top piece would have been this way a little bit, it would have been better for the others, because I already cut that one long on one side to accommodate. Thought it was going to be level on the bottom. Hell no, I gotta cut it crooked too. Hey, for right now we can look right through the knot hole and that knot hole. Pain in the butt is no nails sticking through there, but you know, it happens, especially when you're trying to go along a narrow stretch. It really happened here, and I really don't know why I got that far off. I guess that's what I get for not marking it. I didn't want to mark it because I didn't want everything to have to get repainted, even though it's still going to get a coat of paint over it again probably. Time we fill the gaps. But we'll dig another chunk out and cut it for the bottom, and it can get painted. Maybe I can get it up tonight. And I think it's already blocked a fair amount of sound. Maybe I'll sleep better with that. I don't know, because I get tired of listening to that, because it literally funnels right to my side of the bed. Hi, Briss. You see everybody hi? Yeah? Spoiled kitty. Skid steer sitting there. It's cleaned up. I need to put the other bucket on though. Although I'm kind of toying about using that narrow bucket in here, because especially with this spreader, it's wider and I can't reach as far, and maybe that one will let me reach farther over. I don't know. But we got a, there it is. I know Bryce knows what that is. A bunch of you guys know what that is. I found it alongside the road quite a few years ago. And then after finding that, hauling into a couple of dairies, I saw him cleaning up spots in the barn with it. So I just got everything it would scrape. Got down to solid stuff here that's stuck hard. Bucket will take that off. Cat walks up, gate's open. Cows are over there playing with the big gate. It's not tied back. They probably knocked it loose, so now they're just leaning on it and rubbing it back and forth. Ghost is being a little shit eater. I think it's time for an early lunch and then tackle this. But I probably am going to switch buckets first, because the narrow bucket, I'll be catching stuff with tires I don't want to catch, and I can't get underneath the edge of the gates and that kind of thing. So, you know, catch 22. That's got to move before this gate can open and before I can get the skid steer in. And I got that piece cut, got the molding notched for it to slip down into. Had to grind a little off one spot. One edge, when I cut it, I was a little crooked. For about 6 inches, it was off a butt hair. It's got a coat of paint on the back side. After lunch, Ty can get the second coat on the back side. And hopefully, maybe tonight it'll get 2 or 3 coats on the front side, and I can put it up. This looks like a good spot to talk about how wonderful the day's gone. It's after lunch. I had an early lunch. Ty's busy sitting in there with Blakely napping on her. Becky's got Wyatt napping on her. So it's like, okay, rather than start on this, I went ahead and got a second coat of paint on that last panel I got to put up. Switch buckets. Got that back in. I always shut it off for the first load, since the PTO doesn't shut off, so, you know, once it's got a load on it and there's something against the beater, it doesn't turn anymore. So I was going to start loading it. I get out and I smell diesel. Just a hint. Not like a lot, just a hint. Oh, I'm going to move it, fire that one up and back it over here. It's been years since I've done much work on the injection pump, and I have never seen one with this on it other than this one. Bell Wagon has the same engine in it but non-turboed, and I don't believe it has that on it either. So I'm not sure what it does. But yeah, that's all diesel. And I don't want to take a chance of finding out that that suddenly decides to squirt fuel everywhere and becomes an issue. So, and then that means we got to do a lot of swapping, because that tractor will get the PTO shaft turned back around and get this spreader on it, because it's 540 and we don't need the hydraulics. And the International will go on that spreader. Those are the two we run it on anyway. So yeah, just make my shit hauling day even better. Excuse the dirty window, but it's not a bad looking load if I do say so myself. That stuff's dry and packed down to nothing. I mean, usually there'd be at least 6 loads in that one section, and there might be 3. This is the first one. So, down the road we go. Can't see out the window now. Second load. I wish we had those fences out and that cleaned up, but we don't, and that hole filled. And there's a hole right at the corner of that fence there too. But that's not done yet. I want to get something on this. I mean, all this done is grown grass and had steers on it for 25, maybe 30 years. This little patch. I mean, it looks really good. And the strip between here and that hump over there, all that's had is mules on it 24/7 for 30 years. And then the last few years, you know, we've taken hay off that strip. It goes down there almost to the road, down around the lawn. And I noticed yesterday, I wasn't sure what the neighbor planted here. They got this field, goes to across from our driveway, 100 acres right there, and across the road the other way. And Becky and I went to town the other day, and I noticed across the road the other way was clover. And guess what? That's what's there. That'd be crimson. Now, if we have a cold winter, you can be praying for a few inches of snow on top of that. Frosty will take that out in no time, and you won't know it until April, when all of a sudden everything turns yellow. Then it's a little late. Well, gee, it's a shit day, right? I'm spreading shit. By the way, anybody wants to see some real bed pack, I should have got some video of digging this stuff up. There's parts of it that are so hard I can't get underneath it, and it's on a concrete floor. Anyway, the front of the tractor was about there when I shut the last clip off. Then I hit the brakes. And oh yeah, it's soft out here. Spreader tracks are like 3 inches deep. Anybody see a problem here? The good thing is, I don't think it hurt anything. Bad thing is, there should be a crescent wrench in this tractor and there's not. So Ty's bringing me a little crescent and a 9/16 wrench. Because this is just on with a set screw. Hopefully I can turn it enough to get it where I can work on it. Ty put it on and I'm thinking she didn't get the set screw down into that groove. And when I looked at it from the other side and seeing how far the bolt's sticking out, it's like, yeah, that's not quite right. So now I'm waiting for her. Cylinders has to be up this high to get, and I put zerks on the 2 loads plus that pile. Part of that pile is actually from out there. I opted to stop because I got to have this section here for the cows in the morning. So this is just easier. Oh, somebody swung the, or put the shot out. That's no bueno.
Everything's fed with the calves.
She said everything's fed but the calves. So anyway, see if we can't get the spreader swapped. Boom. I think we're gonna have to clean that board up and put some more pieces on it.
You hear me?
Yeah, that one's on this one now. I think the last time it was on here was when Ron was between jobs. Before he went to work for Maury, he got to run this one. And while this is running, that's about as level a spot as we got without putting it in the shop. Let's see how the hydraulic oil is in the morning. Ty said the shaft was kind of warm when she switched it. And whole rear housing's kind of warm. And she was down here talking to Hopey Dope, trying to tell me that one there's got pneumonia, and she breathes funny once in a while. Gosh, and there's Sapphire. I don't know. Oh, and Penelope. I don't see Sapphire's mama. Oh well. Anyway, we're calling it a day. So, and I can't do any of that panel yet because the last coat of paint's not dry enough to flip it over and set it down on it. Maybe I go out late and put a coat on it. It still needs, put a coat of Kills on it, and it still needs 2 coats of paint. So, yay!